Moroz with us. She's a Berklee College of Music grad and a global touring artist, and one of the first performers to publicly advocate for Bitcoin. And we have Keith Wahrer. He's the founder of Kamikaze Productions and a former label president, serial entrepreneur, and a longtime proponent and staple in the Austin local music scene. So we're excited to have you guys here. Totally honest, I wrote you questions that I wanted answers to, so we'll do that. In the back, could we please get silence for respect for our panelists? Thank you so much. Thank you. So, my first question is, just real talk, honestly, how, if at all, has Bitcoin influenced or impacted your day-to-day business in your life? Has anything actually changed or modified? Have you incorporated it in any way? I'm curious about this.
Well, as far as for me being a manager, finding out Bitcoin through Carolyn, our artist, as a manager, you're supposed to, basically what our job is to find what the artist is into and then enhance that. And so finding out about Bitcoin through Carolyn, it added a different element of marketing her. And so we started focusing on Bitcoin and how can we get involved to enhance that, and music is global and so is Bitcoin, so we want to correlate and bring music to people along with the message about Bitcoin.
Wow, that's loud. Well, my interest in Bitcoin, I mean, I've had Bitcoin for a while now. Oh, now it's too quiet. I'm all confused. So I've really only been into Bitcoin since maybe October of last year, and I don't really think that it's influenced my business per se, but my plan for when I get back home is to try and do an album completely on Bitcoin, not in terms of a subject matter, but in terms of like a payment thing, so I can kind of convince other people within the music industry and document that on video so people can kind of go on that journey with me where I interact with other people. So that's something I'm really looking forward to.
I have a production company, so we do we record music, mix, master, and we also do video production. So far, I've had one client. I've started accepting Bitcoin a few months ago, and I've had one client come through and pay with Bitcoin. So on that front, it's just getting started.
Not to diverge too far off topic, but I'm just personally curious about this. Bitcoin, it's definitely integrating new forward-thinking technology into a really established music industry. I'm wondering what other innovations or other platforms are really exciting to all of y'all in your various ways that you engage with the industry. What else do you like? What else is new?
I have no idea.
New, well, I don't know about new, but obviously the internets are very popular with the kids, I hear. So I'm starting to learn about that. I think I'm going to get a computer soon.
Actually, I did think of an answer to that. People have been trying to explain to me what the DAC thing is, the Decentralized Autonomous Corporation thing. And I would be really, something that I'm also working on is trying to do maybe a label or a publishing company and experimenting with that. Is there a way that we can change the way that we do the model for the record industry by utilizing some of that technology? So if anybody knows about that stuff and wants to tell me about it even more than what's been explained, I would welcome that.
Oh, go ahead. Next question.
So my next question, since we're over on the topic of different and emerging technologies, the most crucial thing for any facet of the music industry is awareness and promotion of your art or of your artist. We've seen in the last 5 years a dramatic shift in the way that that media is distributed and that fans are delivered and people connect with what you're doing and who you are. with all of the new platforms, with Kickstarters, with Twitter versus Facebook, with SoundCloud being the main method of delivery, when you're doing your strategy for your artist or for yourself as an artist, Tatiana, how do you decide where to spend your energy and your money on which digital platforms?
I think that depends on the artist and where the artist's strong points are, and again, that's where you hone in and emphasize and expose it more and take it to the next level. So if an artist isn't that great on Twitter but great on Facebook, you have the artist hone in on Facebook and do a little bit of the Twitter thing as well. They correlate. So I think it just depends on the artist.
Facebook. That's what I have to say about that. I use Facebook a lot, and I hate myself for it because I think it's just such crap, and they're totally spying on us anyway. But that just seems like the coup de grace or whatever expression it is. So I'm trying to shift over to Twitter more. I guess there's a very vibrant community on Reddit. If I could figure out how to use that, I would like to participate. So I think that it's important to engage your fans wherever they are. But I'd like to just get away from Facebook. I think it sucks. I'm excited to see what happens with Liberty.me. Jeffrey is a friend of mine, and I was involved with their pre-launch party at the International Students for Liberty Conference in February, just this last month. So that should be really exciting to see. And I wish that there was a way that we could interact with each other and not feel like we're just getting spied on. And also, your Facebook posts don't get seen by people unless you pay to have that happen. And I find that really frustrating. What the hell did I get all these fans for on Facebook when 100 people see my post? I have over 5,000 likes or something on my music page, and 100 people see my stuff. And that's BS, because I spent a lot of time trying to build up that fan base, and I don't know, I just hate Facebook.
So do you want to be Facebook friends?
No. Yes. I'll be friends with people on Facebook. But I even have a song called "Make a YouTube Video," and I purposely, and it's all about using social media in order to interact with people. And I was like, "F that! Facebook is not going in here because I don't want to support that." So, yeah.
Yeah, I can understand the Facebook, your feelings on that. I would say our approach would be to, you want to have a presence on all the different platforms. And you also want to target where you think the fans are and where you're starting to resonate, and so that's where you start to put more energy. But overall, you kind of want to be everywhere.
Circling back to Bitcoin within the context of the industry, really, my question that I'm curious about as I'm understanding more about the space and looking how it could fit into the music industry as it stands, where could Bitcoin fit into this mix? We've got people paying for tickets with Bitcoin, which, shameless plug, you can do this evening at the Bitcoin Cert tonight at 8:30. All proceeds going to charity, and Tatiana will be performing. So you can have people pay with Bitcoin for tickets. You can pay for services with Bitcoin, but I'm not seeing avenues for clear avenues for adoption. So since you guys are all in this space, what do you think?
How it all started out with us, as a management team, Carolyn is, she one day said that she's accepting Bitcoin for, to sell her music on her website, and so we, of course, started thinking and then, just trying to get the Bitcoin payment and paying for music and correlating the two and just going from there.
I think there's a lot of opportunity with Bitcoin in serving the music community and the musician community. Ideas that haven't been formed yet but need to be formed. There's lots of ways that Bitcoin could serve. And one thing that crosses my mind is that someone could put together a project where music, it's sort of a website where music can be heard first and exclusively previewed or released early and available only through Bitcoin, through paying with Bitcoin. So you know, a company who had a stake in Bitcoin could launch something like that and actually offer music fans an opportunity to hear music first through, and you can recruit new Bitcoin users that way. So that was one idea. I think there's a way also to serve the needs of musicians by perhaps putting together a Bitcoin fund that helps musicians achieve their goals in terms of getting their albums produced, partnering with companies that accept Bitcoin, such as Kamikaze. I think there's a lot of unique ways to do it, since it's such a new, you know, since it's just the Wild West right now in terms of Bitcoin. And musicians are, you know, the music industry has been, is a totally changing thing right now. The major labels are sort of dying along with the you know, the major media companies, and the terrain is, there's sort of a level playing field occurring because of the internet and all the independent labels. I just think there's a lot of musicians, a lot of great music, not a lot of money and a lot of sort of infrastructure to serve them, other than you know, the sort of free things that you find on the internet. So I think there's a lot of opportunity there, and it's just going to take some creativity in order to figure out all the different ways that's possible.
I think there were good points brought up by the guys. But what I think is cool about Bitcoin and music, even though, you know, there's a lot of cool things that you can do with it, which I think they covered, is engaging other artists in discussing these things that none of us are talking about. Like, why am I the only artist, with the exception of, like, I don't know, 4 other artists, that cares about no more war? You know what I mean? Like, this is bullshit. Excuse my language, but I mean, it's infuriating. So to me, what I really like about Bitcoin is that I don't have to go to people and say, I just think it's like a way that I can kind of engage people in a conversation in a little bit of a different way, and I don't necessarily have to say to them, oh, I'm a libertarian, and, you know, I like Ron Paul, and they're like, he's a Republican, and they all run screaming into the night. I think that if you start talking about how you can get Bitcoin to help, you know, underprivileged people, to help bank you know, to provide banking for people in third world countries, if you can talk about how Bitcoin takes money out of the war machine, I mean, that's awesome, and that's why I think it really appealed to me. And it, you know, at first I was like, I should write a Bitcoin jingle, because, you know, Bitcoin's cool and blah blah blah. But it turned into a song because it has life to it, and it has soul to it, and it has meaning to it, and it has more meaning than anything that I could write into a song. It's a way that we can liberate so many people, and it's something. It's incredible to me, and I just feel really fortunate that I'm able to participate, and I hope that other artists can kind of see how, as musicians, we have a lot of power, and we should be using it for good.
I'd like to open it up to audience questions, if anyone has any. Let's go. AV support, could we please get a mic?
Is it on?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to get your insights on this. So I know you said that you had only one person really pay in Bitcoin. So part of the challenge here is to actually get to the purpose, which is to add to your bottom line to make artists more money. Do you have any insights or ideas on how to market it, to actually get people to start using Bitcoin to purchase music?
Well, I think that's exactly it. I mean, that is what needs to happen. Is there needs to be some sort of a marketing campaign, some sort of a service that is very convenient and is attractive to users, music buyers. Yeah, I think the idea is that it's, on one hand, you're educating people about Bitcoin, because I mean, if you go into the Austin community right now, I mean, most musicians don't know about it, and if they do, it's just what they hear in the media. And of course, I mean, we all know kind of where that stands right now. It's just there's a lot of education that needs to happen. So there really has to be something in it for them. But I feel like something along the lines of a website where people can hear music first through purchasing with Bitcoin will get people to subscribe to Bitcoin. And you know, it would need to be someone who has a stake in Bitcoin that would put that together, because you know, that's to me that makes sense. But is that getting to your?
Yeah.
I think that's my goal for the next record. Like, I have some challenges with it because of my master plans, but that's what I want to do is kind of, you know, I mean, I used to work at a studio in Manhattan, and I used to torture all the kids and be like, y'all need to buy Bitcoin and you guys need to find out, and I'd like try and make them watch like the Money Masters. I don't know if that really went over that well, but I think that a project like what I'm going to be doing, which is, you know, videotaping myself in the studio so people get some cool behind the scenes, you know, just like you would want to watch like a DVD with like people, you know, in the studio or whatever, but also engaging with all the different people along the spectrum. I hope to put together an event in April in New York with a lot of music industry kind of folks at one of the studios that we decide to partner with. I decide to partner with, and then kind of try and educate the industry people about Bitcoin and invite some artists and see what we can do with that, and maybe put together like a show and have some music and some booze and whatever, you know, that you would have in a regular party, but just have a little bit of an educational angle to it.
And I think they touched on it. I mean, with our artist Carolyn, that's pretty much, you know, that's what she does. She's got a, you know, pretty nice fan base, and so she just tries to spread the word through her, you know, through her music and, you know, through her social media, and just getting everybody educated on it.
It seems to me that the artist, in the way that the mainstream, or at least like the present day music business works, is the one that least profits from their material. Do you see Bitcoin as a way of changing that, changing the landscape, and sort of empowering the artists to be able to actually, you know, they could crowdfund their own albums, they could, you know, set up smart property with the Bitcoin protocol so that they could basically implement their own intellectual property without the force of a gun, you know, at the end of a gun. So do you see that as something that could really revolutionize the way that the music industry works right now?
Yeah, I think I do. I think that's a good point. Those are some good ideas. Bitcoin is a part of this sort of new paradigm, and it can become a bigger part of this new paradigm in the music business. Like I was talking about the leveling of the playing field, there's a lot of ways that Bitcoin can be a part of that, and I think what you brought up, those are good points.
Yeah.
I concur.
Same.
Hi there. So I'm kind of cringing as I listen to you talk, because my job is I'm a social media rep for some up and coming bands. So the only reason that I exist is to target social media. And so as you're saying, I hate Facebook or I hate Twitter. That just,
I like Twitter.
I mean, or if you hate Facebook, you know, it just makes me cringe, because, you know, this social media is probably the most powerful medium of anything right now. So the way that I work is you can't just pick one social media. You have to do them all.
I do. I'm on Facebook.
So you have to be on Reddit. You have to be on Tumblr. You have to be on Instagram. You have to be on Snapchat. You have to be on the Vine. You have to be on YouTube.
I also need to make music.
You also need to make music.
In between being on Facebook all day.
Yeah, we all need people like you.
And that's where I come in. My background is computers, and so the way I do it is I cheat. You find the newest viral video with over 1 million views within 24 hours. You post, hey, I'm a new artist, check me out. The band that I'm working with, they had maybe 1,000 followers on Twitter last week. This week they have over 100,000.
Is this the question?
So the question is, the question is, are you aware of the website FilmAnnex, which is combining blogging, videos, pictures, and it pays out in content in Bitcoin? So I'm just wondering if you've heard of that, and if so, what are your thoughts on the future of that?
I haven't heard of it.
I have not heard of it.
You said FilmAnnex? Is that .com? I haven't heard of it, but I'll check it out.
ANNEX? Okay, cool.
Do you mind giving him the mic one more time? Can you explain a little bit about FilmAnnex?
Well, I'm not a rep for them or anything. However, the idea, as far as I know, comes from a young woman named Roya Mahboob. She's a young woman from Afghanistan, and her background is software engineering.
What does the website do?
The website, the way that it works is it's similar to YouTube. Except it incorporates blogging, like some of the major blogging sites. It's essentially
it's a service for artists.
It's a service for artists, correct? And so
it pays in Bitcoin.
And the way that it works is that you have a pulse as you upload your content, and people start viewing your content. Your pulse goes up. And as your pulse goes up, you get paid in Bitcoin for the content that you create. So it's very new. They just started paying Bitcoin, I believe, March 1st. So it's just emerging, but it's basically my job to follow this kind of thing and keep track of it for the artists that I represent.
That's great.
Okay, so I think I'm going to piggyback on him, what he talked about a little bit. So about kind of lowering the barrier entry to new artists if they just want to publish something and release some music and then get paid in Bitcoin. Kind of has some exploratory discussions about this, and one of the problems I've come across is some of the other different necessary aspects of the industry, such as when you release music, you do it for Bitcoin. Well, the artist needs to get paid for whenever it's played in other venues, like on the radio or Spotify. So the problem is those agents exist to ensure that the artists get paid. Do you have any insights on this and any possible solutions to how to make that work?
Well, I think ASCAP and BMI need to develop some sort of a relationship with Bitcoin, because a lot of the royalties are paid that way. Perhaps if one of them took on, that, then artists could get paid their royalties in Bitcoin. I think there's probably some upside to that for musicians.
I'm not clear why we would need to. I'm not trying to sound like a jerk, but why would we need to get paid in Bitcoin through ASCAP? Couldn't we just buy Bitcoin right after and just take dollars?
Well,
okay.
Yeah. So
you just want to integrate it more, is what you're saying.
So if you're an artist and you want to just release your own music, so it's kind of just making it easier for them. Well, the problem is you're not going to get paid, for royalties. If you just release your own music instead of Bitcoin, you want to just put up a website and sell your music for Bitcoin.
I mean, I think it wouldn't be very bright to not register with one of those PROs, because then what I mean. Then I wouldn't be getting a chunk of money at the end of the year or whatever. So, and they're also really, we're ASCAP. So they're not looking to make new and innovative moves as much. They're kind of just the big fat guys at the top.
Yeah, that's kind of.
I mean, that's why I was thinking that maybe it would be an exclusive, a limited time exclusive period where it's available through Bitcoin, and then it's released through all the existing channels.
I can probably actually answer that question better. So this already exists. It's called BitPay, you can set your website up, you can get paid in Bitcoin, and then transfer your Bitcoins to Coinbase, and that turns into fiat if you want to. I mean, there's no reason why you can't get paid today in Bitcoin, and then, hell, use gift.com and buy a $2,000 Amazon gift card and buy whatever you need. I mean, there's no reason why you can't live off of Bitcoin right now.
Well, I have BitPay, but I don't think that's what you were talking about.
I understand those exist. The problem is
He's trying to cut it. He wants to cut it out. He wants to, instead of getting paid from ASCAP and BMI, the U.S. dollars, if I'm understanding you right, and you want them to pay directly with Bitcoin.
right.
Yeah.
So we're less dependent on the FRN in general.
So you don't have to go through. Yeah.
Thanks, exactly. Thank you.
Do we have any more questions? Well, thank you very much for being here, and thank you.
Thanks,
for your time.
everybody.
Thank you.